Hi everybody, this is Fagun Shah from Integration Lab. So today I am going to create a video which is I think so going to be very helpful for many people who are just starting out with automation, who are completely new to automations and they don't know how to validate their automation idea. Sometimes what happens is that you just come up with the automation idea or use case and you want to check if this thing is possible with Pabbly Connect or any other automation software or not, right? So for today's video, I have created a flow chart which basically tells you if your use case is possible with Pabbly Connect or not. Okay, if not, what you need to do next, that is also mentioned in this particular flowchart. Okay, so yeah, let's see what we can achieve using this flowchart today. By the way, I will share the link for the this flowchart as well. I will most probably host it somewhere, so you guys can basically access it from a link, right? So the first thing I would recommend is to write down your use case properly, like each thing you want to do. For example, you want to send reminders for Zoom meeting every time somebody books a meeting. So let's say somebody booked a meeting for 20th April and you want to send them reminder one day before, 1 hour before, and 10 minutes before via maybe SMS and Gmail send email action. Okay, so want you to write that down in a plain English manner. Okay, but try to go step by step method that will help you to later on navigate this flowchart much better. Okay, so yeah, let's come to the outer like bird eye view of the flowchart. So once we have defined the use case, there are two possibilities. First, we have to basically identify the trigger and its events and the action and its events. Okay, so what is trigger app? For example, you want to send reminders for everybody who book a Zoom meeting with you. Okay, so in this case, the Zoom meeting registration will be the trigger app and event. Okay, so Zoom will be the trigger app and meeting registration created or done by your client will be the trigger event. Okay, so you have to first search it if that is already possible in Public Connect's native integration or not. So this is where you can search it. You can click on this integrations list. You can go here and let's say we search for Zoom. So we have an application called Zoom Triggers already integrated in Public Connect. We will click on that and you see that it says configure vbook. So most probably that should be possible. In this case I know it is possible because Zoom does provide vbooks for that or trigger events for that particular thing. Okay, so you have checked it is available. If yes, then great, you can start your workflow straight away. Okay, the trigger part is sorted, at least not the action part, the trigger part is sorted. Okay, let's say if it is not integrated, in that case you have to check if the trigger app has webhooks or not. Okay, so webhook is a way of triggering the automation where trigger application sends the data to Public Connect whenever certain kind of event happen on their side. For example, whenever a Zoom meeting is booked, Zoom will send data to Public Connect via webhook. Okay. So you have to basically check if the webhooks are available or not for that particular application. Okay. If the webhooks are available, then you can basically like in a workflow, you can select a generic webhook as a trigger and you can copy paste this webhook URL in that particular trigger apps dashboard and select a particular event in there. And yeah, you can start working on your workflows trigger right away. Okay, that is where this flowchart leads on. Let's assume that webhooks are also not available. Okay, what will you do in that case? So the last possible option for triggers if webhooks are not available is email parser. So let's say you don't, your trigger app doesn't have webhook, but they sends you an email to your registered email address on their website every time a meeting is booked. Okay, so in that case you can use email parser by Public Connect as a trigger this one. And you can keep on auto forwarding the emails to this particular email address. You can set auto forwarded in Gmail or Outlook, whatever you use. Okay. And that will then you can basically use other actions to parse the emails like text formatter, number formatter, or code module, right? So yeah, if not natively integrated, then check for webhooks. If webhooks are not available, check if it sends you an email with all the possible available details in it. If yes, then you can use email parser as a trigger. And if email parser is not, like, email is not being sent to you, in that case you have to contact the trigger apps development team or support team to get the webhooks implemented in their system. Okay, or maybe send an email to you whenever that trigger event happens. Okay, so yeah, that was the trigger part. Now let's come to the action part. So again, action is very similar to triggers. First you have to like identify the action apps that you want to use. For example, in our case, the example we took earlier was whenever a Zoom registration is created, we want to send them email and SMS one day before, 10 hours before, and 1 hour before, or 10 minutes before. Okay, whatever you like. So in that case, again, you can click on this, and for email, our app will be Gmail. So we can search for Gmail and see if there is a send email action available. Yeah, it is available. For SMS, let's say we are using something like Ring Central. Okay. Send SMS action is also available. So both the action which we need are already available. The logic part of the workflow we still have to figure out, but the requirement is possible with Pabbly Connect in this case. Okay, now let's assume that integration is not available. What will happen in that case? In that case, you have to check if the API is available or not. Okay, so if the API is available, then you will have three options. Okay, this will be the three options. So first is you can go ahead and request the integration on Public Connect's roadmap page, and you make sure you always include the trial account details if possible, API documentation details, and your use case. Okay, now there is no time limit how soon Public team will take on this request. So this might be a little bit slow approach. Okay, it also depends on how many requests they get from their users. Okay, the fastest way is to hire a custom app developer who can build this integration for you. Okay, obviously I am going to promote myself here. So you can send me an email with an API documentation and the use case that you want to achieve, and we might have a 15-20 minute Zoom call to understand it in more detail. But first I need to see the API documentation and understand your use case for the start. Okay, the third and last option, which is I think so going to happen very rarely, is to share custom app development documentation with the other app developer. Okay, so for example, you want Zoom team to develop the integration in Public Connect for you, then you check share this documentation from Public Connect team with Zoom team. Okay, so they can develop their own integration in Public Connect and then ask Public Connect team to launch it for them. Okay, once the Public Connect team launches it for everybody, you will be able to use it as well. Okay, so yeah, these are the three options, right? Now under the request portion, you have to like try to get maximum upvote. So for that I would recommend maybe share in that action apps Facebook group or community or something like that, so you get maximum upvotes in Public Connect. Okay, now make sure, yeah, you also add API and a webhook documentation in there as well, right? So that is also one thing you need to do. And let's say if API connection is not available, then you need to check if the incoming webhooks are supported or not. Some application, very 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 few application supports incoming webhooks instead of APIs. They are basically one kind of APIs only. If that is the case, in that case you can use that instead of API. But if both of them are not available, that integration is not going to be possible via Public Connect, and I would recommend using some kind of RPA tool for that thing. Maybe RoboMotion or Zero Work or Automotion on anywhere or something else, right? But yeah, if API documentation is not available for the actions that you want, then it is not possible to integrate or automate that particular use case with Public Connect, right? So yeah, I hope this video has helped you. I will share this documentation with you guys by embedding it somewhere. I might need to make small changes at one or two places. I just noticed it. But yeah, overall, this is the flowchart that you need to follow. And yeah, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do that. I am very near to 1000 subscriber. So yeah, that will help me to reach my goal. Uh, Thank you. See you in the next video. Bye bye.